authorized by Act of Congress March 3, 1963, has awarded in the name of the Congress the Medal of Honor to Specialist 6 Lawrence Joel, United States Army, for conspicuous gallantry and intrepidity in action at the risk of his life above and beyond the call of duty. Specialist 6 Joel, then Specialist 5, distinguished himself by gallantry and intrepidity at the risk of his life above and beyond the call of duty on November 8, 1965, while serving as a medical aidman, Headquarters and Headquarters Company, 1st Battalion Airborne, 503rd Infantry on a battlefield in the Republic of Vietnam. Specialist Joel demonstrated indomitable courage, determination, and professional skill when a numerically superior and well-concealed Viet Cong element launched a vicious attack which wounded or killed nearly every man in the lead squad of the company. After treating the men wounded by the initial burst of gunfire, he bravely moved forward to assist others who were wounded while proceeding to their objective. While moving from man to man, he was struck in the right leg by machine gun fire. Although painfully wounded, his desire to aid his fellow soldiers transcended all personal feeling. He bandaged his own wound and self-administered morphine to deaden the pain, enabling him to continue his dangerous undertaking. Throughout this period of time, he constantly shouted words of encouragement to all around him. Then, completely ignoring the warnings of others and his own pain, he continued his search for wounded, exposing himself to hostile fire. And as bullets dug up the dirt around him, he held plasma bottles high while kneeling, completely engrossed in his life-saving mission. Then, after being struck a second time and with a bullet lodged in his thigh, he dragged himself over the battlefield and succeeded in treating 13 more men before his medical supplies ran out. Displaying resourcefulness, he saved the life of one man by placing a plastic bag over a severe chest wound to congeal the blood. As one of the platoons pursued the Viet Cong, an insurgent force in concealed positions opened fire on the platoon and wounded many more soldiers. With a new stock of medical supplies, Specialist Joel again shouted words of encouragement as he crawled through an intense hail of gunfire to the wounded men. After the 24-hour battle subsided and the Viet Cong dead numbered 410, snipers continued to harass the company. Throughout the long battle, Specialist Joel never lost sight of his mission as a medical aidman and continued to comfort and treat the wounded until his own evacuation was ordered. His meticulous attention to duty saved a large number of lives, and his unselfish, daring example under most adverse conditions was an inspiration to all. Specialist Joel's profound concern for his fellow soldiers, his conspicuous gallantry, and his intrepidity at the risk of his life above and beyond the call of duty are in the highest traditions of the United States Army and reflect great credit upon himself and the armed forces of his country.
Today, in this quiet American garden, we acknowledge our great debt to Specialist Joel for his great dedication in that savage action. It is a terrible truth that suffering is so often the price of freedom. But freedom is indivisible. To protect it in distant Asia is to maintain it here in America. The willingness of Specialist Joel to die for freedom in the remote Vietnam province of Bien Hoa indicates, as nothing else could, the willingness of his country to sacrifice, to stand, and to persist in freedom's cause. As we salute the valor of this soldier, we salute the best in the American tradition. Just as he sustained those who fought for freedom in War Zone D, so shall we. Just as he bound up their wounds, so shall we. Just as he cared for his fellow man, so does all America care for those with whom we share this planet. America, too, stands behind the fighter who is struggling to prevent subjugation. America is willing to make sacrifices in order that all men may know the joy of peace and security. America, too, is dedicated to the highest of all principles, that of serving mankind in its endless struggle toward a better, a fuller life of dignity, devoid of tyranny. Specialist Joel, with this medal comes your nation's enduring gratitude. We thank you for what you've done. You stand as a symbol, reminding all of us of our continuing responsibilities as citizens and our continuing obligations as a nation. If we are worthy of your sacrifice and the sacrifice of those of your comrades, then we shall never forget them.
All right. Thank you, Mr. President.